I'm quite ready.
Good evening, Dr. Brad.
Hello, Kurt.
How are you?
I'm just wonderful. Happy to be here sitting with you for enjoying a moment of fine conversation.
That's wonderful. Now I understand you would like to make a short today.
I want to make a short, which is 15 minutes in limit. That's what I want to do because I want to make shorter shorts because I think that will help the viewers. That's what I think. But I was doing some work. I'm doing my online work, which was improved today because I was able to access both the legacy and the new system today without difficulty. Yes, that was pleasurable.
That really happened, huh?
Yeah, that's okay. It's without explanation, and I don't demand any explanation, of course. But I was observing my interactions with the people, and I came to an interesting and somewhat startling conclusion, which is this: there's a class-based function which I was previously unaware of, which is there's a false sense of equivalency between classes generated by the social milieu we currently endure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this. The lower classes believe themselves to be your equal, regardless of their intellectual functionality. They don't recognize a difference. And they tend to talk too much. They talk more than they should talk because they think that they have something to add to the conversation, which they are in error about. Does that make sense?
I'm patterning that, and I think it is partly the venue, but yes.
And it's like
It may not happen. That same person in real life, outside of you being a doctor, may actually not be comfortable speaking to you at all.
No, I agree.
Okay, go ahead. But yes, go ahead.
So it's like this. So it turns into this very interesting function, which I thought you would appreciate, which is they take up too much time, and they consume time, which is their consumptive function, and it's like that's what I thought was interesting, which is like the construction that is a time-based function, because the high competency men mostly and women, they don't waste your time.
No.
They're just all business, and it's okay. They understand the game, and they make it work. The lower competency feminine thinking ones, they don't understand the difference, and they take up more time.
This is true. There's so many ways to go with it. I don't know where to start. I mean, obviously, they want attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if they get attention where they're not invalidated, in other words, that's how they usually experience it.
Right.
They take the time because they enjoy the process of validation.
Yes.
When they speak, they're usually ignored by anyone who doesn't have some ulterior interest in listening to them, such as family or friendship relationship maintenance. So when they can talk to you and you do listen to them, they take that as a different kind of validation, actually more validation than they get from their friends. And the last thing is that they are more dependent upon the information of others than the information they produce themselves.
That's right.
And so if they're dumping information on you, there's sometimes a hope that they're going to get information from you. In other words, they may not structure the information so that it's competent, but
right.
By dumping information, sometimes they have this hope that you will understand what they mean and basically do the math on it.
That's right.
Provide them an insight. And so, yeah, there's even more, but yeah, I was just like, how many things are going on there when that person?
It's quite interesting. And it's like this: as I become more patient and recognize it and let them do what they need to do, I have generally, in fact, perhaps universally gratifying experience. They don't feel like they were satisfied by their interaction.
Correct. If
Because
you-
they just want to be validated, and it's okay. I'm okay
Right.
with that. Because it's extra 3 minutes, maybe extra 7 minutes. It's okay.
No, I'm going to the other end of the spectrum. I'm trying to go to my, can I run with it the other end of the spectrum?
Of course you may.
So I encounter this with service personnel who
Hmm.
in their domain believe they are competent.
Hmm.
And so, and this has been a problem for me in medicine, which is that I probably need to educate the person quite a bit, right? And they don't know yet that I'm not that person you're talking about.
Yeah, that's an interesting function, which I have.
So
I let them run and see what happens. I don't try to make it
you
make
don't
sense.
try to do it. Well,
No, I won't try to distinguish between the two. And I get the premise, and it's like occasionally something strange will happen. I know that's certainly an
I mean, it's
impossible.
just probabilistically, you're gonna very rarely get problem two. You're almost always gonna get
That's
problem
right.
one, and then you're gonna get people who just say they're familiar with you, they're familiar with it, they're your discourses with a normative structure that they usually, there's other people usually understand them, right? I mean, and so that's within the normative bell. It's not at the lower class issue.
That's right.
If you're in the vast amount of the middle, right, you can usually count on people understanding the things that are common in life. So
Mhm.
anyway, so why the interesting part is the awareness of the class thing.
Yeah, that is interesting. No,
Because go ahead.
I didn't expect it, but I regard it as an intelligence function.
Yes, it's intelligence.
And it's okay. And it's okay. And its competency is related to that, right? And it's okay. And I just observing myself interacting with the people, and I'm like, oh, I thought you might be interested in it with regard to the time function associated with it. And it's all fine.
Okay, there you go. So what you're saying is they live in time and we live overtime. And because we live overtime, we can manage time. Because they live in time, they can't.
Yeah, that doesn't occur to them as an interesting function. They don't they waste your time. And it's okay. I just look at it as a cost of doing business, and I just make my observations and continue to move on.
I don't know. I consider it part of noblesse oblige,
Yes,
basically, to listen to the little people.
that's it. Give them their space and let them make their sounds, and it's okay. And don't worry, because it's a cost you bear for the privilege of the circumstance, right?
It's also a service,
Mhm.
a public service. It's like any other. It's like good manners,
That's
right?
right.
So I go to the other way, which is I have the tendency, because of my autistic nature, I did have the tendency in my autistic nature to just correct them, educate them, and solve their problem whenever they're talking to me. But they don't want that. All they want you to do is actually just listen to them and show so that they know the world cares about them a little bit.
That's
That's
nice,
all they actually want. And
right?
so I had to suppress that. And so what I do now is I say, if you ever want to understand that, just ask, I'll explain it to you. And I'm surprised that if you ask it that way, instead of thrust it upon them, once in a while, not once in a while, more often than you'd not, that I expected, 10% of the time. They'll ask you to help them, or they'll ask you to explain it to them. And when you do it like that, they think you care about them.
That's nice.
It's a nice thing.
Nice. And that's just trying to be nice. So that's all the little short I have for you.
All right, well,
I thought it was a good little short, by the way. And I want to ask everybody who's paying attention to do hit like and subscribe, and then do hit notifications, and then leave us a little comments, because we always will rigor in them. Anyway, I'll talk to you in about a moment, Kurt.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. You can find a button.